We'll look into that. Now, shall we get my next guest out? Expelliarmus, will you please welcome Jason Isaacs? Lovely as well. You know what? I love the Harry Potter movies. I know you've done so many other things, but wow, isn't it? What a great part to have.
It is.
And you have 2 children, but I would imagine they're a bit too young to see the films.
Well, they're 7 and 3, Lily and Ruby, and they have not the slightest bit of interest in Harry Potter. They come to the set and they walk around, but all they really want to do, anywhere I'm filming, whatever the set is like, is come to the trailer and see if I've got one of those plastic toilets that just fascinates them. I don't know why, but it's just... You go there and there's this incredible set, you know, there's Hogwarts and then there's all the creatures there and there's Dumbledore's office and they just want to go and see if they can... how many towels they can stuff in the toilet. I don't know what it is.
But here's the thing I want to ask you, because I know how big those films are and everyone's excited about it. There's the one coming, I think it's been bumped back a little bit, it's due out
There's
this
one
year.
coming out later this year. I'm not in that.
Is that the Deathly Hallows?
Yeah, and no, that's the Half-Blood Prince.
So this one's the Half-Blood Prince, and
Don't
the last
make
one
me talk about that. I might start crying on.
Well, because you're not in this
There'll
one.
be 45 people at home watching me.
You're hardly in this one, is that why?
No, I'll tell you what happened. I was in number 5, and then I was shooting a television series in Rhode Island, and the local shopping mall said to me, "Will you come and sign some books? Number 6 is coming out at midnight." Yeah. And I said, "Yeah, sure." And I thought I'd go down and be half a dozen people there at midnight. And so I go down there, and there's like 10,000 people and TV crews and everything. I said to the guy who brought me, "What's going on?" He said, "They've all come to get your signature." I said, so I go in there and I start selling. I said to the guy who's running the bookshop, I said, "Any chance for a little peek at the book before it comes out?" He said, "No, there'll be a riot." Except he's American, so he didn't talk like that. But I said, "Could you get one of your boys to open the book in the back and fold over every page that I'm on?" And he said, yeah, so I can see what's... We all want to know what's happening in the next book. So I'm signing and smiling and signing and smiling and signing and smiling. And I look over and this boy... Can I stand up? Yeah. This boy comes to the doorway and he goes... like that. I'm so... I go, "What?" And he goes... "No, I'm dead." I'm like, "Yeah, like that." And he goes, "No." I go, "Oh, it's OK." And he goes, "No, you're not in that book."
Was it Lee Evans helping you out there? "No, you're not in the book."
I've got to keep signing for 2 hours and smile. All I want to do is vomit. You know.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Very upsetting.
And how do you deal with the fans? Because the fans are pretty rabid, aren't they? I mean, in a nice way. It belongs to them, in a way, and they're passionate about it. And I don't know if we have any Harry Potter fans in the green room. Are you guys fans of the Harry Potter? Oh, my Lord. You know what? Jason, you've never looked more masculine and charismatic. I love the fact that Whoopi's gone for the ginger. You know what you look like? Without on top and your locks below, you look like a judge or a barrister.
Or a bad strawberry.
And Anthony, of course. I think that's good stage wear for you now. I think you want to stick with that.
OK.
Thank you very much. Oh, dear. I can't wait.
It's amazing to do it because, you know, most film sets you're on, everyone's terrified they're going to flop and they're all going to lose their money and have to go down King's Cross and... I mean, and in fact, everybody knows that this thing is much loved all over the world and it's a joy to do.
How do you deal with the big wig? Because it's a kind of a cross between the long hair you have. It's like a cross between Iggy Pop and Paris Hilton, isn't
well,
it?
You know, it gets redressed every time. The first time round, we were modelling it on Vanessa Feltz, obviously, and then it turned into Paris, and this time it's Madame Gaga, I think.
Oh, yeah, Lady Gaga.
That's the one. There you go. I'm so cool!
I like that. That's a real dad. And turn off that Madame Gaga.
I don't listen to music anymore. It gets me all excited, and I'm married. So
we've got Lady Gaga on in a few weeks. She's a fab. I think she's on the next show we have. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
That's fantastic.
OK, now, congratulations are in order.
Did I just say Madame Gaga?
Yeah, you did, yeah. Congratulations are in order. Jason's been nominated for a BAFTA, ladies and gentlemen, for an outstanding performance that you probably won't have seen because it was... but no, because...
Like most things.
Yeah, but it was... because it was the Curse of Septto was the show, and it was initially on BBC 4, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
And he played Harry H. Corbett. If you're a fan of the Septto series and you see this, it's an incredible performance. What a role to take on, and I imagine quite a challenge for you, quite a daunting
Well,
task.
it was very daunting, because any time... And actually, as soon as, you know, it was a brilliant script.
Yeah.
And I had no idea if any of this was true about Harry H. Corbett. I started researching. It turns out he's the best actor in England. And everybody thought he was Marlon Brando. And he was eclipsing Olivier and all his contemporaries.
He was a huge... He had so much potential, didn't he?
On stage. And he took this part, and he never quite escaped from this part ever again. So anyway, I say I'm doing it to people. And everyone you talk to goes into an absolutely pitch-perfect impression of Harold Steptoe, which is a bit of a nightmare when you take it on. And then you find yourself on set doing it, and all the crew can do it. Yeah. And it's running all over the place. So anyway, I decided I wasn't doing an impression, and that no one was going to watch it. And what do you know? He gets nominated for a BAFTA, and now I can't escape it.
Well, if you haven't seen it, I hope they'll repeat it. I'm sure they will in the wake of the BAFTA nomination. But it's an incredible performance and a really great piece of
I don't want to be too self-deprecating because I love flattery in every way, but it was such a brilliantly written story. And he was such a talented man. I'm just piggybacking on that. And these awards should, frankly, be nominations for the best part. I'm the luckiest bastard. This year, you know, I got one of the best parts.
That's a strange kit, really, because most of it is off camera.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, no one will want to watch me and Phil Davis redo Step Dance on episodes, but most of it is off camera and the very interesting and very troubled life you have.
Well, good luck on the night. I hope you get it.
Oh, I don't know about winning these things. It's amazing that TV's doing less and less scripted drama. You go to the more obscure corners and there's still fantastic work.
Well, yeah, but it's a great piece of work, and it probably wasn't a huge budget, I guess.
I think I was paid 2 Twix wrappers and a green shield stamp. But yeah, it was good.
It just tied you over. Now, where are you from originally?
I'm from Liverpool.
So you had quite a broad accent when you were a kid?
No, I used to talk like that probably when I was about 11. You know, we moved to London, everybody took the out of me, and I was like, why are you taking the I don't sound like I'm from anywhere. Yeah.
But that's what we would call Paul McCartney.
No, Paul McCartney wanted that whole Beatles thing, that when actors who are not from Liverpool do a Liverpool accent, they do the Beatles, who are people from Liverpool who wanted to sound like they came from California.
So how did that go?
I don't know. Don't make me Rory Bremner. You know, that whole, like, Californian sound of all that, like, it's a tune, it's a singing thing.
Do Scottish.
Don't stop. No, I was a professional Scot for years. I was in big trouble. That's Norwegian, isn't it?
Let's talk about your new movie, because it was a very successful stage play. Now, tell us the premise behind Good.
Well, it was written by a guy called C.P. Taylor, and it was a big hit here and on Broadway. Although this is an adaptation, it's about... It came from the curiosity of the writer. How did good and decent people end up being at the heart of the Nazi regime? How is it possible for anyone to become that morally compromised? And when I read the play and then the script, I thought, I couldn't point the finger anymore the way I've been able to in the past. I thought, you know, I do all kinds of moral compromises in my daily life, all kinds of things I look the other way from. So, you know, it felt to me like a story about then that's really about now.
Right, it's a fabulous idea, of course. It's a gripping idea, the fact that someone could make little steps, little incremental changes in the way they are and then find themselves...
Also, you're powerless. Look, I'm voted for New Labour. I'm a big New Labour proponent. I'm very keen on them. But it's also true that while they were in charge doing the things I really agree with, we did away with the right to silence. And we threw away the Geneva Convention. We invaded a country, you know, based on lies. And
none of them are little misdemeanors. No, they're all pretty big things.
No, they're not. But what am I going to do about that? I didn't go and kick down number 10 Downing Street. I didn't protest that much because I can see most of the other things I like, and I feel pretty powerless. So when you look at Viggo Mortensen's character in the film, who disagrees violently with his kind of, you know, extremism, the thuggery on the right, and the anti-Semitism, mostly Germany was coming out of the ashes of the war and blooming. So that's what the story's about, and he and I are best friends in the film, and... you didn't ask me that, but I'm telling you anyway.
It's nice to know. Hey, but two terrific actors working against each other. And, of course, the weird thing is, even though it's a very serious movie and it's a very grown-up movie, at the same time, you're both known on this show. I mean, people, Harry Potter fans might go and see you, and then you've got the Lord of the Rings audience as well.
If they want to see Aragorn, you know, out in an oil mud wrestling match with Lucius, whatever reason they buy a ticket for, it's fine. I tell you what I love about it is that Viggo is an extraordinary man. He picks parts that are nothing like what you'd expect a Hollywood star to pick. This is, on the surface of it, an unsympathetic part, but he's so decent as a human being, Viggo. It shines off the screen and it pulls you in. You think, why do I like this guy, given the things he's doing? And me, who should be a victim, who's a Jewish character in Berlin in the 30s, swears non-stop and is a womanizer and is anti-Semitic in many ways.
But I love the fact that we see a Jewish character who's kind of strong and tough and kind of like, you know, not being down by, because often they're portrayed as victims in these movies, and of course...
Germany fought in the First World War. There's no reason why he should be ashamed of himself or he should skulk in the shadows, which is why it's all the more powerful when you see him reduced and the...
One final thing, I was watching TV the other night. You know when you're flicking and a movie comes on, you think, oh, this is a silly, mad-on movie, I watch this, and I forgot you were even in it. Because The Tuxedo, starring Jackie Chan,
my God, Jackie Chan,
wearing a magic tuxedo. And you're in that at the beginning of that.
He's amazing. Have you had him on?
I've never had him on here. I've met him, though, in China.
Unbelievable. He's the only superstar you meet that's even more of a superstar if you spend time with him.
And his English isn't so good, is it?
No, well, actually, I didn't realise that at first, because he was talking to me, and then there'd be a break in film, and you go, listen, how much time do you spend in Hong Kong, how much time in California? And you go, eh? And then you realise that his assistant was holding up phonetic cards behind me. So his character was very articulate, but he wasn't. But he still could do things like we were shooting a shot one day and there was a fly on the counter. And I kind of zoned in and I'm going to get this thing, and I missed it. And he went, no, Jason, you see, fly, they have an eye, they see it all around, you come from behind. And I said, you haven't got a fly in your hand, get out. And he went, Jackie Chan. And he dropped his fly and he crushed it. And then I said, I'd like to see you do that again. He's the wife. I went, yeah! how have you got a fly in your hand? And he went,
Jackie Chan. You know what? You can't really top a Jackie Chan fly-catching story, I don't think. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Isaacs. Thank you. Awesome, great stuff. Jason Isaacs. Thank you. Thank you, Jason.